Are we on?
Test.
Oh, yes, we are. Okay. All right. Welcome to the non-Greg Sterlace show. Except only the substitute. I'm your host, the Pamazon. And here we have our co-host.
Oh, hi.
What's up? What's down there?
Yeah, whatever.
The green
Yes.
twins,
Yeah.
Andy and John.
Oh, hi, Marks. I mean, Pams.
That's fine, dude. Lisa's a liar.
We know. Anyway.
And then we have our musical guest who was one of the favorites that we've had on.
Hey.
We got him back, Mr. Bill Nehill.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Right.
You have a guitar?
He does have a guitar. Is that a plug-in one or?
It is, but the pickup is.
Oh right, okay,
is,
right. I think
ruined.
that was the case last time, but that's.
I don't
that's
know. It was
perfectly fine.
the one that I usually use that it does have a working pickup is locked away in a practice room that I don't have the key into. So
yeah.
I was just.
That's
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I have my practice room in my house. No one can take my shit away from me.
Yeah.
It's all here, everywhere. So we were talking off camera, like we do, and
Sensual.
pre-interview gaming, and we were talking about how you don't really watch movies or TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not a political statement.
No, it's not like I'm trying to rebel against like consumer culture or anything like that. I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just what I don't do it.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
find those people are like, well, I don't watch TV because.
Well, I think that
To
people
be
think that
pretentious?
people think that because I don't,
Yeah.
that like I am making a statement.
Okay.
That I'm like, oh, I'm above that.
Right.
I'd rather be doing something else. I guess I would be rather doing something else, but it's not. I don't look down upon anybody.
Yeah.
Who watches,
But you did say you do like some music videos.
Oh, I love
You?
the old music videos. Yes.
Like which one?
Well, the one that comes to mind, but I was talking about a friend of mine the other day about one, but I can't remember what it was now. But the one that always sticks out in my mind, well, two in particular are like the early Peter Gabriel videos,
Yes.
like the Games Without Frontiers.
Whoa,
and,
without tears.
And the Shock the Monkey.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it is, he was like kind of considered, and we were talking about like the golden age of like MTV, which was like it seemed to be like around like 82 to 84.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never a Michael Jackson fan, but it's just like, but you just think about that. I was in grade school when Thriller was very popular, and just you hearing on the radio like these, the word in the playground, about like the new Michael Jackson video, and just like how, the next Michael Jackson video is going to be, he spent $500,000 on it, and how groundbreaking and pioneering they were, at the time, and just people talking about it, like how unbelievable it was. It was going to be 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, after him, everyone decided in their videos, we're all going to just synchronize dance now.
I highly recommend Indian Thriller just for anybody watching
Yes.
this.
He's like, Suleiman!
Yes.
Have you
But-
seen? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But it was just, it's just like really really weird arty videos that, just like, that it's a lost art form in a way. It's done, on a more underground level these days. But to think that these big budget, major label bands were doing these weird, fucked up, art videos to their songs is, it's pretty crazy,
Yeah, people do have music videos, but you don't really see them. You have to search them out,
Yeah, you gotta go out looking for them now. They're
Yeah.
not just like.
Yeah, there's like indie bands
Turn
who
on
do
the
have
tube.
videos,
Yeah.
but nobody.
Yeah, they're not played on anything.
Just a fraction of an
The
audience
Indian
even
Thriller
knows
is
it.
great, by the way.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Of course I've
yes.
seen
It's so whack. His dance
It's pretty much like the other Thriller, but
They recorded it on a calculator.
yeah. Yeah, no, people don't really. You have to search out people's videos, and very often they're not. They're not very interesting.
Yeah, so check out our Folgers video.
I was thinking that too. That's a music video everyone should check out. Green Schwinn Folgers.
Green Schwinn still believes in videos.
Yes.
So if you liked Peter Gabriel, were you a Genesis fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Early Genesis. I actually like pretty much almost all Genesis up until about '83.
So how
Which
about?
it's I know there's a lot of dividing points, and
Yeah.
I like to Some people only like the Gabriel era, and I think I love the Gabriel era best. But I think there's definitely some great pop songs, and they were weird pop songs if you look at them, like they did later on. With Phil Collins. I don't like Phil Collins' solo career at all, but I like what he did with Genesis, even after.
Yeah, he was pretty terrible. I think it's Susu Studio. Everybody.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Bad Acne. It's just like that coincided with.
It's a girl that's been on my mind all the time.
I like Phil Collins.
You don't even know my name.
It coincides with bad acne and bad hair.
Yeah.
Like what I was going through at the time.
So how about Yes? Did you like Yes?
Oh, I like Yes. I like Yes again. I like Yes. Yes was my first concert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, May 9th, 1984. It was they had reinvented themselves at that point.
Right. Yes.
With Lone Over Lonely Heart.
Right.
That's another video right there.
Yeah.
That I sat there. I remember that coming out, and people were like, "This makes no sense. This video." And after being through what I've been through in my life,
yeah,
I'm like, this makes absolute sense, complete 100% sense.
I have a funny, very farm story. I wanted to see them too, and they were coming to the New York State Fair, and I was showing my cow in the small fairs, and I was trying to win enough prizes so I could get to the state fair and see Yes. I didn't get to go.
With your cows?
With my cow, yeah.
I worked at McDonald's.
Yes.
I worked at McDonald's for 2 months so I could see The Cure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then once I saw The Cure, I think I bought like a Skinny Puppy CD, and I said that was enough. I was quitting.
That's enough of McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I'm on it. Once I had a job at this one McDonald's, and the people were so nasty. They were like, it was a small town. They all knew each other, and they were being real dicks to me. So, okay, take your lunch break. And I just walked out.
Nice.
Yeah.
They called me where did you go? I'm like, bye, motherfuckers.
Remember
Gotta
when-
bring the uniform back.
Yeah, you don't get paid if you
Yeah, right.
you don't get your last paycheck unless you get.
I think
you
I
bring
didn't
your
even go
uniform.
in to cash it. I was only there for half a day. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, wow. Remember when McDonald's used to put their food in, styrofoam instead of, boxes?
I do.
Yeah, that was cooler. But, anyway.
Yeah, not very environmentally.
Yeah, it
Sound,
wasn't. But I just thought it tasted better. It's definitely not as good for the
that
environment.
Dang paper taste.
Yeah.
So was Yes good in concert?
Yeah, I saw them twice actually.
Oh, okay.
Both.
I mean, they're supposed to be.
I never. This is when they
one
were
of the
kind of
best,
a little trying to go more high tech,
Oh,
with
with all the
90125.
Yes.
Trevor Rabin.
Trevor Rabin, yes.
I don't think Steve Howe was in the band at that point.
Okay.
But it was John Anderson with Chris Squire. So at both times I saw them, it was in that era.
They did come to.
it was
Art
great though.
too, right?
I was supposed to go see that, but I didn't
But they
go.
didn't have John Anderson. I was like, what the?
I
that shit.
I think they're
Fuck
kind of
that
like
shit.
nobody. They can never really get anyone together at the same time.
He was sick, and then they replaced him, and they kept the replacement. He got sick.
Yeah.
Found a replacement, and then didn't let him come back.
Didn't have to pay him as much.
Probably, yeah. There you go. Hey, we'll make more money, guys.
I remember reading a thing about Rick Wakeman about how he it was at that one record that they did Tales of Topographic Oceans, which was kind of really where why punk rock had to happen, that sort of thing. It was just so overblown and over the top, and every song was a side long, and it was a double album. There were only 4 songs on the record, and they had. I can't remember where it was, but it was kind of this month in music history, and it was 1974, 1975. Rick Wakeman leaves Yes, and his reason was people kept asking me questions about the lyrics of Tales of Topographic Oceans, and I had no idea how to answer them.
That's a weird reason to leave your band. I wrote a bunch of bullshit lyrics, and I can't answer for
I read.
Stop
Well, no, he
Stop questioning me.
he didn't write them. He didn't write
Oh,
them.
he
John
didn't?
Anderson
Okay.
wrote them.
Oh,
And
John
I
Anderson,
read
okay.
that he just played keyboards, and he was kind of like the partier of the band. He drank and,
Okay.
ate meat, things like
John
that.
Anderson
And they
wrote some
were
real
very,
weird lyrics.
I actually read something about how the whole concept of the album was based on a footnote of some text, that he read, and basically explored whatever. But I never really got that record, but I like what they did before that.
Yeah.
Close to the Edge and Fragile and Yes Album.
Those are all great. Yeah. And after that, it was kind of very.
Well, it just got really, you know.
You guys familiar with Yes very
I
much?
know Rick Wakeman's like a keyboard player and stuff. I only know a few.
I remember
Yes numbers.
Ozzy saying he used to drink with him a lot because he thought he was the most real member. Ozzy didn't like the other guys. I was just reading Ozzy's biography, and I have a bunch of Yes records on vinyl that I've listened to once or twice, but I'm not a huge Yes fan. I'm more into Jethro Tull and Genesis for sure.
So those are your prog people. You are Jethro Tull and Genesis prog.
Yes.
I will say this.
Any Rush prog lovers?
I'm not a Rush fan.
That's the mystery.
Rush.
I like two Rush songs. I like Spirit of Radio, which was I'm sure people know that was about CFNY and Subdivisions.
Subdivisions, yeah, that's a great one.
But I will say this,
I
just
like their popular
a footnote to the footnote is that Tyler Harrington, our dear friend Tyler Harrington, one of the first times I ever met him, we were at Good Bar, and he was pouring. I was mooching off his beer. I was taking my empty beer bottle, and he was pouring his pitcher into my beer bottle, and which was what we were wont to do back then.
Yeah.
And anyways, we were talking, and we started talking about Yes, and he was a massive Yes fan.
Yeah, he started playing it once when we were in Bad Ronald after we finished. Started playing Yes songs.
And he told me that night, and he was just like, I love Yes so much that I even like the bad Yes albums. Like he's like Tormato.
Yeah.
I mean, Tormato's a record that you see at like Bradley's for like 5 cents.
Yeah.
Still sealed.
All the time. I remember I loved Yes. I was like a little kid. I saved up. I bought the first 3, and then I got Tormato, and I was like, oh.
Tormato, you don't even have to listen to it to know it's bad.
Yeah.
That cover.
You spelled it
That
wrong.
name sounds stupid.
Yeah, the name, the cover, the whole thing was not. It was
I
no
own
good.
the one with a white snake on it. The whole cover is like I have a few Yes albums on vinyl, but I don't know what that one's called. You know, it's got like only a few songs on it.
Is that 90?
It's got a big. It's all like silvery and white, and there's a snake on it. I don't remember what it's called though.
Yeah.
Silver and white snake.
Power of Google.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember what it was called. I remember liking it though. It had sitar on it and stuff, which I liked.
What? Wait, what is this? This is a mystery.
Yeah, I remember really liking that
A
one.
snake? I don't remember a snake.
Yeah, you'll not see it. It's
This is Snack.
This is Snake. While we're searching here, I'd just like to point out, if anyone's interested, Green Schwinn is doing the music for a podcast. They're on up to episode, I think, 3 or 4 now, and it's called Awful Conversations with Office People. Awful Conversations with Awful People, yeah. And it's we do the music for it. It's our friends, Slade and his friend, they're doing a podcast out from Eugene and Springfield, Oregon.
Yes.
Did you find out what it was called?
I'm looking.
That kind of looks snaky.
Do anything look like it?
Yeah.
This is a mystery.
I'll find it. Let me just...
Yeah, I remember when Tyler started playing, and I was like trying to play along on my weirdly tuned guitar because I was so excited because I really, when I was a little kid, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I always liked Yes and Genesis as far as like the prog. I never got into deep prog. I never liked DLP though. I never liked Emerson, Lake and Palmer, or Emerson, Lake and Powell, as the '80s incarnation was.
Right. Yeah, I did see Jethro Tull once.
I never really got into
There was this wasted
them.
guy behind me. Well, my friend loved Jethro Tull and was like, "Oh, I got extra ticket," and I was like, "Okay." And there was this wasted guy who knew all the lyrics, and he was yelling them at the top of his lungs into my ear the whole time.
Really liked
He
Jethro
really
Tull.
I hope
liked
that
it.
wasn't me. I was doing the last time I was there, and they put me up the front row because I was doing that.
Yeah.
No, this is.
Okay, I found out what it's called, Relayer.
Oh, Relayer, yeah. I've heard it, but I haven't heard it in years.
I think that one's all right.
That was the album after Tales from Topographic Oceans.
Track listing. Let's see.
Yes.
I know these. Yes. I don't recognize any of these songs, so maybe I think I know it.
Is there a band called No?
Such interesting
Probably.
television.
Yes,
There probably is
totally.
a band called
Googling
No.
on the mobile Blade Runner device.
Yes. Dudley should form a band called Maybe.
Speaking of Blade Runner, I had Vangelis albums as well. He did the soundtrack to the first one.
Yeah, he
I
did
was a weird little kid.
He did that song with John and Vangelis.
He did, and I had those albums because
I loved that song when I was a kid. The Friends of Mr. Cairo.
I was the only person who knew that.
Oh, come on.
I loved that.
I loved it too. I thought it was Yes for years. I thought it was Yes.
Did you? Okay.
Because however, I misheard it on 97 Rock.
Right, yeah.
John Anderson of Yes or whatever.
Yeah,
was,
right.
But I remember it because it's got all the sound bites and the I haven't heard that in years.
I used to have those albums. I don't know what happened to them. I had them, those were other albums I saved up for when I was a little kid. I don't know where they went over time. But yeah, I've listened to them on YouTube, some of the songs too.
Yeah, well, did he do like a full record or something?
Oh yeah, they did several records.
Really?
Yeah, there were several records. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could top that record, that song.
There was some really good songs in there. Yeah, absolutely. So, what musical stuff are you doing now? Tell all the people.
Well, like what? Like
projects.
Oh, projects?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a ton.
Tell people all a ton of projects.
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I don't even know if I'll. Oh, well, there's.
Don't forget anybody; they'll be mad.
I know. I'll forget somebody.
Right,
and
sorry,
like,
just mention a few of them that come to mind.
Well, I do Be Locust or Alone, which is a 5-piece band I'm in with Scott Volkwich, Nick Gordon, Corey Nealon, and Carson Kane, and it's kind of it developed from like kind of a more of like a droney thing, and kind of turned into more of a pop thing. But I don't know. It's really hard to kind of describe. Velvet Underground meets Velvet Underground.
Nice.
Excellent.
Find out.
With like I guess if like the Velvet Underground wrote pop songs.
Okay.
I mean, like you sit there and you go like, oh, I wrote this pop song, and then people are like, oh, this isn't a pop song. Well, it's a pop song. Come on.
No, it's a pop song. What do you mean?
I mean, I guess I'm just like
Don't
judging
burst my bubble.
pop song by 1981
Yeah.
standards or something like that. But
But you're a good person to bring this up too. Some asshole keeps posting this article. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Kraftwerk was the most major influence on anything ever.
oh, people have been saying that.
I've seen that posted.
Even Sonic Youth. I fucking go after every person who posts that. I'm like, you are wrong. You're an idiot. Take that stupid fanboy article down. Take it down.
Kraftwerk is the greatest band in the world.
What
are you talking about? They are perfect.
Hans,
They are the most perfect German creation.
I love Kraftwerk,
Thank
but
you.
come on. You're telling me the Sonic Youth was influenced by Kraftwerk over the Velvet Underground? What the fuck? Like, you're
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
The article
Ignorance
says
is
it.
bliss,
You are
as you
dumb.
know.
You're dumb. You're dumb.
Well,
You're
we
really
all
mad.
do. We all do things that are dumb. I mean, I'm not
That's
going.
true.
I mean, I'm not going to see Gary Newman. You know why I'm not going to see Gary Newman?
Why?
Because I side with the Joy Divisions and the Throbbing Gristle of the world, who thought he was a phony.
Really?
I don't really think that. I actually like Gary Newman.
love Gary
I actually love Gary Newman. I like Gary Newman, but because I love Joy Division and Throbbing Gristle so much, I have to stand ground.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that awful? That really is awful. That's
I-
really awful.
I'm not going to see this. Might be equally awful because I'm just as happy to listen to his recordings at home.
No, it's just like I heard this interview. I heard this interview with Joy Division recently, like a couple months ago, and they were like the interviewer like mentioned Gary Newman, who at the time was like very popular in England especially, and they just ripped the shit out of him, and then I'm like, well, I know where my allegiance lies.
Yeah. Wow.
And I feel like a total asshole. I know, really, it is so wrong of me to be doing that, but that's what I'm doing.
You should just go see him.
I know
Wear
I
a
should.
disguise.
I know.
What
Man, I
about
thought he was in the Joy
New
Division and Throbbing
Order?
Gristle. I guess
He's a betrayer. Two-faced. These guys are Tiny Tim fans.
Oh,
Yes.
huge. in
Tiny Tim.
Oh,
You know who was a big Tiny Tim fan was David
who's
Tibet.
that?
Do you know who David Tibet
I
is?
don't.
No, who's that?
Current 93. He was a Current 93 is like this early. Well, the early. Anybody knows.
Can you
me,
see
he's
his
been-
influence in his stuff? Whoever like David Tibet, he was just a fan, or like
He released a record of his. Yeah.
like he produced it for him.
What was it? I can't remember if it was a material of like new material. I mean, I know he's passed away, but this is like early 90s.
That
Early to
doesn't
mid
surprise me
90s.
at all. In the 90s, Tiny was letting like all kinds of different
He,
people
like,
stuff
the
on.
Current 83 were like this. I'm probably boring anybody who like knows me at all because I love Current 83. But like they started out as like this really dark industrial band that were like really formless and very really whatever. But they went off in all these eccentricities and eccentric directions and stuff like that. But the main guy became obsessed with Tiny Tim.
Nice.
And they released this 12-inch. Current 93 did. And at the beginning and ending of one of the songs, there's a conversation, a taped phone conversation between David and Tiny Tim.
I would love to get a hold of that.
And it's like all about like the Antichrist. And it's all like all this like, you know, like the Antichrist is gonna be a beautiful woman. And all this stuff like that.
She's gonna make me
and then the thing is there's another band that was kind of like a peer who was like contemporary of Current 93, Death in June.
Okay.
And Death in June they're a little more like a folk version of Joy Division, just to like put it in the most basic, you know, form. Anyways, Douglas Pierce of Death in June is gay, and he was like basically that was one of the reasons why he kind of separated himself from the that whole scene, is because Tiny Tim had like said like some very inflammatory homophobic statements.
Which is very strange for Tiny to say because he had some like weird gay past and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so like
That's
he was.
probably why,
That's why he was like, no, don't talk about that. I
Yeah.
just massaged a young Puerto Rican boy. Nothing wrong with that.
So
I
yeah,
would
so
love
he
to
was
hear that phone conversation.
But he did do it. David did like kind of like at one point he did kind of like these Current 93 Presents albums, and that was one of them. And I can't remember if it was actually like an anthology or if it was like new material.
I'll have to check because
I want to
there
look
might
into
be
that.
some material on that I've never even heard.
But it was like early 90s. Early, I'd probably say like 94.
I'm looking into
95.
Because Tiny's got so much stuff I've never heard because he constantly released stuff. He never stopped from like, you know, the 60s until he died in the 90s.
We haven't heard.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to play a song? Do we need to do a
Sure.
Let's
Give
clap
us
so we can do a
a
sound
number
check.
two.
Clap, clap, clap.
Please don't hurt my baby. My mother pleaded with the world. A cliche I know. A cliche I know. And somewhere Steve is laughing. He knows who runs my world. A cliche I know. A cliche I know. Because I know how many times I've said it so. And some have to work early while others stay up all night. A cliche I know. A cliche I know. Who makes these decisions while others stay up all night? A cliche I know. A cliche I know. Because I know how many times I've said it so. Because I know how many times I've told it so. Because I know how many times I've heard it so. And I know how many times I've loved you so. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Sure. Okay. Oh, I was Jesus, I could not save my brother. Oh, when I was Jesus, I could not save no one. When I was Jesus, I was to be in agony till the end of the world. Oh, when I was Jesus, I could not love my neighbor. And oh, when I was Jesus, I could not love no one. When I was Jesus, I was to be in agony till the end of the world. I was to be in agony till the end of the world. Oh, when I was Jesus, I could not feel my body. And oh, when I was Jesus, I could not feel no one. When I was Jesus, I was to be in agony, in love with the world. Thank you.
Woohoo! That was awesome. Now,
Thank
do you play those in one of your bands, or are those solo
actually,
works, or?
the first one was I just put out on a solo album.
Oh, okay.
That I released.
Where can people find that?
Oh, on Bandcamp.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
Bandcamp.
You know, it was like one of these things. I released it last month, and I don't think anybody noticed that it came out. But my friend had said that I released it Halloween weekend, and maybe that's why no one noticed.
Oh.
I posted it. And I didn't get any sort of feedback, so I was like, well, I was kind of like, oh, whatever, like, you know. And I posted it again.
Yeah.
And actually did get some nice feedback.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, I listened to it the other day, and I was like, wow, this is okay. It's, you know, so that.
So was it under Bill Nehill then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Do Not, Do Not, Do Not.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, it's
Yes.
and it's just like seven songs recorded in the kitchen.
Okay.
Just on my home recorder, my little handheld recorder.
Yeah, yeah.
And the new one, the second one, When I Was Jesus, probably will be on something soon.
Okay.
Something I've got planned, another like solo thing, but kind of solo, kind of not. You know,
Okay.
just kind of like solo acoustic bass, but just like a little bit of sparse.
Nice.
You know, sparse instrumentation, nothing like, not like band. You know what I mean? You know,
Sure,
like,
yeah,
it's more
yeah.
like just like a little bit of organ or a little bit of percussion or something like that. You know, nothing like full thing. You know, so. But yeah, so
your band Pieces is going to be playing again soon? Or?
yeah, Revolution Gallery on Hurdle.
When are they playing?
December 15th.
Okay.
And that should be pretty wild. We're not as active as we once were. We are working on a second album. Ed has moved. My collaborator in that band, he's moved to Geneva, as you know.
I do. I used to work with Ed.
And working with him is just amazing. I love working with him. I was in Team MC with him as well. But just working to him together and writing together has just been fantastic. And he just like, and like what we, you know, like, I don't know, just doing something that I never thought I'd ever do. You know, I mean, I like that
Electronic.
sort of music. You know,
That band's
electronic. I
electronic,
love that
yeah.
sort of thing. But it's not something I like particularly thought I would ever do. You know,
Right,
like,
right,
it was
yeah.
just like I'd love to do it, but you know, it's just sort of, you know, thing that you don't really think about that you're actually going to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's been pretty wild. And we have another album probably coming out maybe like spring.
Okay.
And I think that I don't want to like, you know, tell tales out of school. That'll probably be it.
Okay.
You know, because I think it's just the
Too
the
hard.
distance and
Yeah.
everything like that. But I'm not closing the book on it. I mean, you never know. That's a few years from now or something.
Right,
like that.
right.
But
You
I
could-
think as far as like an
Call us.
active thing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Let's call.
Do call. Do call. Yeah, sorry.
Do niche.
But
Yeah.
Do milk.
but it's been fascinating. I think it's like we've really with the new album. I think it's gonna blow some minds.
Good.
If anyone hears it.
Yeah.
Ranch it up.
I was listening.